What up, world? Welcome to another episode of BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am Brandon Janeau, and like always on all podcast platforms everywhere. BrandonJaneauShow. Social media platforms, Instagram threads, Brandon Janeau, Facebook, the Brandon Janeau Show, and of course, TikTok, Brandon Janeau Show. Go follow me on all those social media platforms. I would appreciate it if you did. If you did, I would appreciate it if you did. Really, where you go to YouTube channel, Brandon Janeau Show. Go subscribe, comment, like the shorts, like the vids. All helps in the algorithm. Appreciate the new subscribers to the YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys. Hopefully you guys stay subscribers. Uh, yeah, hope you guys enjoy this. This is Tuesday, so you already know it is I Bleed Sports. Yeah, got some stuff going on. NBA, LeBron James is coming back. He talk about that, LeBron, and I talk about I talk about that in a minute. Carmelo Anthony's son and Bronny. Why people need to actually start having a conversation, but I'm the first person to do it, so here we go. But I'll talk about that in a minute. Of course, my crazy six my crazy six of the college football season. I got this is one of the last few I got. You know, the college football is kind of winding down. Next week is definitely the last real week of college football. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty interesting. They got, of course, their polls coming out tonight, but mine's will be out after that. So yeah, eyes on college football for week 13. My skeptical game of the week, my most interesting game of the week, my upset game of the week, in the game of the week. Of course, I got my big four in the NFL, and I got my levels of warning in the NFL. That is that. First, we start off with boxing. This past Saturday, Conor Ben and Chris Eubanks Jr. had their rematch. I watched it. Watched the rematch. Conor Ben beat the hell out of Chris Eubanks. It wasn't even close. Chris Eubanks had no chance in hell in that fight. Holy shit, that shit was bad. Um, Again, maybe it was because, and if you can sit here and say maybe it's because Conor had a little bit more. He had been in the, because he had moved up to the welterweight, to the middleweight division to fight Chris Ebanks, and he fought him, and maybe that's why. Maybe the first fight kind of was fighting in a weight class he wasn't so used to. A lot of people forget Terrence Crawford didn't look great in his first middleweight fight in his career. Like people think they could like Terrence did not look good in his first middleweight fight, but his second fight, which was Canelo Alvarez, he beat the hell out of Canelo. The same thing with Conor this fight. Conor went in there as a middleweight, and he looked the part. He looked every sense of a middleweight. He beat the shit out of Chris Eubanks. Eubanks Jr. He didn't have a chance. Like watching that fight, I was like, God damn, dude. Like at least try. Um, at least goddamn try, man. Um, which brings it to this Saturday. This Saturday is, of course, the biggest fight night of the week of the year. Another massive card, another moment for a lot of us to watch some boxing, man. If you really love the sport, the Ring 4 card. I mean, this is Saudi Arabia putting on Turkey Al Sheikh, and again, Turkey Al Sheikh is going to get criticism from certain boxing fans and shit because of, I don't know, for some fucking reason, but this is the one man that has actually put the fights on that we've all wanted to fucking see. I mean, he literally got Bivol and Vita Vitav to fight. He got Canelo and Crawford to fight. He got, what I'm saying? Like he's gotten these fights to actually happen. He's got Anthony Joshua and Daniel Du Bois to fight. He's got all of these fights. And yeah, man, I just feel like the energy y'all have for the man, it doesn't match because I'm like, y'all are getting the fights you want. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I don't understand the energy you have for the man. But anyway, I do not like the Saudi Arabia shit. Sometimes, not like just them being in Saudi Arabia because it's too fucking early. It's literally noon when these fights start happening, and then they don't like the fights don't end till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the daytime, and then you're like, well, that was my whole fucking evening. That's all I wanted to see. I don't really have nothing else to really watch. And so I have nothing else to do. I don't have anything else to do. Um. So yeah, that's the one knock on it. I will say is like just the early ass cards here in America. It's just so fucking early. Like it'd be like 12 o'clock shit. I'm like, God damn, bro. Like, but yeah, but this card is going to be great, man. Bam Rodriguez is on this card. Adula Mason, who's been a young hitter the last couple of times I've seen him in wrestling and boxing, man. He can box his ass off. And of course, the two fights everybody wants to see, of course, is David Benavidez finally coming back into the ring after fighting David Morrell. He is now going up against Yardy. And of course, the fight that everybody really wants to see, and that's Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney. Um, this is the second fight since Ryan Garcia. Uh, we have not seen what Devin really is going to look like in those types of fights. Now, this is a massive challenge for him because, of course, Brian Norman Jr. is a powerful hitter. Like he's a power hitter. That's what he does. He does that shit well. This is going to be interesting to see. And I said this last week when I talked about this fight, and I said literally last week, Devin can win fights like this when he doesn't try to insert himself into something that he is just not good at. When he is not, when he is trying to be the aggressor, he's going to lose because you don't have the power to keep them off of you long enough. And people know that. Brian Norman Jr. has the power. And if he catches you, he's going to hurt you. You don't have the chin. And you know that. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see this fight. I can't wait to see this fight. I think it's going to be pretty intriguing to see how this is going to go. And I'm looking super duper forward to this fight. I can't wait, man. Basketball, NBA. LeBron James. LeBron James is coming back off of his injury. They said he was supposed to be out for like months, and now he's coming back in like a couple of days or whatever case may be. But some people might say that he might even be playing tonight. I mean, but yeah, the question really does become, and this is what I really wanted to talk about, which is Bronny and Carmelo Anthony's son, which you can't compare these two guys. You really can't. But I want people to understand watching Carmelo Anthony's son, in college at Syracuse, and seeing what he's doing in Syracuse, this is what y'all thought Bronny was supposed to do. And that's just the facts. You thought Bronny was supposed to be this. Bronny's a very undersized guard in the NBA. And he can't shoot threes. And he can't really shoot jump shots. He's not really great at really anything in the NBA. I think his dad made him into exactly what he is. But the problem is Bronny doesn't have the height or the athleticism like him. And so Bronny is pretty much a smaller LeBron. The problem is, but he doesn't have the actual basketball like he doesn't have the natural skills of a basketball player like that. Like LeBron was actually fucking talented since high school. But he also was 6 and 6'7" in fucking high school, bro. Like this motherfucker was tall as shit in high school. Bronny's like 6 feet as a guard in the NBA. Like what, 6 feet, 6'1" as a guard, and he's not particularly well versed in handles. He's not great at the handles. He's not really great at the fucking shooting. So in this generation of players, superstar players that y'all continuously scream you want him to be, you want him to be like his father, and that's why a lot of people give him so much credit. But bro, we have to now have this conversation about this kid because we have watched him at USC. Now he's in the league. We can honestly say he's not LeBron. And the jury's still out on Carmelo's son. Don't get it twisted. Carmelo's son hasn't really played really that team yet to make him actually have to step up his game. He hasn't played against the ACC. He hasn't played against North Carolina. He hasn't played against Duke. He hasn't played against Notre Dame, Virginia. He hasn't played against those teams in the ACC yet. While Bronny played in college, he played against literally the Pac-12. And the only team in the Pac-12 was really Arizona and like UCLA. Excuse me, Arizona, UCLA, and people like that. He didn't really play anybody like crazy. This is why I say like the comparison between these two kids aren't even the same. Like, but yet y'all still come out here every day and try to use this narrative of like Bronny has a chance to grow into that. You know what Bronny is? Bronny is Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers had a pretty decent career, but Bronny is Austin Rivers. Now Doc wasn't great like that. Doc isn't like LeBron. Like when we don't talk about Doc Rivers like he was one of the greatest players of all time. Doc and Austin had the same career, pretty much. LeBron and Bronny are not even the same. They're not even close. Now, can Carmelo's son grow into what Carmelo was? Carmelo was an incredible scorer, incredible player. Like if you watch Carmelo, especially when he was in Denver, oh, Denver Carmelo was different. We talk about Denver Carmelo. Denver Carmelo was different. Denver Carmelo was fucking different. People say the Knicks Carmelo. Denver Carmelo was fucking different, bro. That dude was different, bro. The height he was jumping out the building with. Oh my man, look at bro. Y'all ain't see Carmelo, bro. Y'all didn't really watch that man like talking about it. But anyway, there is a real, you know, problem that I have with social media and especially sports media, right? Is that y'all want Bronny to be something he will never be. Y'all keep thinking he's gonna transform into his dad. He is never gonna be his dad. And if y'all could accept that, then y'all would stop looking at him like he's this kid, like he isn't there. And I hate to say it, but he's not there because of nepotism. He's there because of nepotism, man. Let's just be 100. Let's keep it a beam. But LeBron got his son in the league. LeBron got his son in the league. Great, but he rushed him. And I don't give a shit what nobody say. He rushed that kid. Bronny should have never been in the draft. Bronny should be in another college. He should be in Syracuse with Carmelo's son. Like if them two was together, the pressure wouldn't be on Bronny so much. He would actually just be there just to help Carmelo's son. I said this shit when he got him out the draft last year. I said the best thing for the the best thing, the best thing for Bronny was to hit the transfer portal, and try to go to a better team, like a UConn. If he went to a team that could coach him, he would be so much better than what he is right now. And that's not a lot. That's not a lot. But this is the problem that I have, and this is what I continuously say about a lot of people that don't understand. That don't understand. Like watching Carmelo's son, you really truly do. Watching Carmelo's son, you really truly do look at this situation. And you say, "Damn, this is real talent, and this is somebody that just got pushed too damn soon. He should have never been in the league. Bronny should not be in the league, bro. He should not be in the league. His father wanted him there because he wanted to play with his one of his sons before he retired, and it backfired. It fucking backfired. Bronny's not ready, and I've been saying this shit for a very long time. Bronny is not fucking ready, and it sucks. Cause this kid, Could have been something. Could have. But again, watching Carmelo's son in Syracuse right now is fucking crazy. I like watching him starting to get his shit going. If he wins a national championship just like his daddy did when he was a freshman, bro, that shit is crazy, bro. I gotta give that man his credit, bro. Like if he wins a national championship just like his pops did in the first year, his freshman year, all right, we done. We done. We can move on, bro. We can move the fuck on. A crazy six. College football is getting closer and closer to the end. We are in finally week 13. They got literally one more week really fully left before conference championship games. Um, which is kind of weird because conference championship games have not been announced. It's kind of fucking weird because you got literally a week, like literally a week to go, like before we announce who a week to go. Um, but my crazy six of college football, I do six teams. Do six. It's my crazy six of college football. Checking out the list. At number one is the Ohio State Buckeyes. Ohio State, they are 10 and 0. 10 and 0. Ohio State is the best team in college football. That Matt Patricia uh defensive pickup to bring him as a defensive coordinator was probably fucking team saver. I mean, Lord have mercy. That was probably a team fucking saver. Because if the Ohio State Buckeyes had to play, I mean, literally, if the Ohio State Buckeyes had to keep the same team they had last year, nothing new, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, like nothing new. I don't think Ohio State really makes, you know what I'm saying? I don't think Ohio State really makes a dent this season. But the fact that Matt Patricia, who is a pretty good defensive coordinator, he was never a bad defensive coordinator. I think a lot of people thought he was. I mean, okay, with Philly, he just didn't fit Philly. Like he just didn't fit Philly, bro. Like that was just a bad time, bad situation. But yeah, man, but Ohio State really didn't have a lot to worry about this year. I mean, like I said, next week they play Michigan in the big house. They play Rutgers, you know, this week. They don't really have a shit to. I'm thinking about the one game that Ohio State really had to worry about or really had to be concerned about. And the only one I can think of is Texas, and that was the first game of the season. Outside of that, they really haven't had any fucking challengers. Like Oregon had to play Penn State, not them. Indiana had to play Penn State, not them. This whole schedule for Ohio State has been pretty fucking easy, to be honest with you. They didn't have to play Oregon. They didn't have to play Penn State. They didn't play Indiana. They really haven't had to play anybody. So it's been very easy sailing. So listen, man, they're winning the games they're supposed to fucking win. If they're on your schedule, you're supposed to win them. And that's pretty much what has happened. They are number one in my polls. They're probably gonna be number one again tonight when they put the college playoff polls out. And they're number one. I mean, they're gonna clearly be in a Big Ten championship game. I don't really see anybody catching them. They're gonna be number one. Like I said, everything goes into next fucking week, which is Michigan and Ohio State. Can Ryan Day finally win against Michigan? That's really where the conversation kicks in. Being in Michigan, can you beat Michigan? That's really what the question is. But Ohio State is number one. Number two, Texas A&M. They are also 2-0. They place Sanford. Sanford this upcoming week. Last week? Woo shit. Was it the day? Was it was almost there. We almost we almost was like, oh, wait a minute, wait a minute, hold on now. The fact that Texas A&M almost lost to Syracuse, not Syracuse, South Carolina, Lord have mercy, I'm sorry, South Carolina. The way they almost lost to South Carolina. If games ended in the first half, South Carolina would be a fucking beast. If games ended in the first fucking half, South Carolina would be a beast. But they don't end in the first half. But that was a very telling game for Texas A&M on both ends, both halves. First half, they came out maybe overlooking South Carolina, like South Carolina, like the freaking these motherfuckers, like that's supposed to be what we are. You know, they had all of the conversations. Their quarterback was supposed to be a Heisman candidate. Their quarterback was supposed to be the guy. This is supposed to be their year, and yet they didn't do shit. And they took that shit for granted, and they got their ass beat in the first half. The second half, you got a chance to see if South Carolina, Texas A&M can handle themselves in a situation like that, and they did. Now, am I sitting there telling everybody that they're ready to win the SEC? They ready to beat Georgia or Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss, or I don't know. The jury is still out. But I will say this: they fought. When again, you had to come back. You had to win that game. South Carolina did not. South Carolina definitely took their fucking foot off the gas in the second half. I'll tell you that fucking much. But the fact that Texas A&M, the fact that Texas A&M still came back and won that game, that says something. It says something. Now this weekend, you got absolutely nothing coming back this weekend. So you're pretty gonna much be over by halftime. It's gonna be damn near 60 something to 0 or some shit. That's not really the problem. Next week, I think they play Texas, if I'm not mistaken. They Texas and then play Texas? Or they play LSU? No, we already played them. Yeah, I think they play Texas next week. That's gonna be the game. That's gonna be an interesting fucking game because even though Texas is technically out of the conversation for the SEC championship game, knowing that Ole Miss still has a chance to get into the SEC championship game, Texas, if they kind of beat you, Georgia has to lose, which Georgia really, it really does feel like this. Texas A&M and Georgia are the two teams that's left standing. Like, that's the SEC championship game. They need to go ahead and just say it as shit because nobody's catching them. Georgia and Texas A&M and Georgia are the SEC championship game. I hope they would announce this shit and get it over with. But that's the SEC championship game. Let's be 100. So, yeah. Number 3. Speaking of a team that needs to get this shit announced, Indiana. Indiana is 11-0. They're on a bye this week. I think they play. Fuck, who they play next week? They play somebody next week. I can't remember who. But they're on a bye this week. I'll talk about that next week when I remember who. Indiana is on a bye this week. They're 11-0. What can I say? Indiana's pretty much signed, still delivering to the Big Ten championship game. This week, Ohio State can officially punch their ticket in. Indiana, of course, like I said, have already punched their ticket in. They were the ones to beat Oregon. They were the ones to beat Penn State. I don't know what more you want from this team. They're 11-0. And they're probably going to be playing for their first Big Ten championship game, their first Big Ten title ever. so yeah, that's gonna be an interesting fucking game between Indiana and Ohio State. I can't wait for that game. That's gonna be a pretty good fucking game. Hopefully it doesn't end like last year's where they just got absolutely fucking beat down by Ohio State. Number 4, Georgia. Georgia 9-1. They played Texas this past Saturday. Everything was good for Texas up until the second half. Everything, if the second half didn't happen, Texas would have won that game. They really would have won that game. Everything went left against every fucking thing went left in that second half. I don't know what the fuck happened, especially in the fourth quarter. Holy shit, Jay went left. But Georgia won. They blew them out in that fourth quarter. That was bad. Georgia's 9-1. They are clearly going to the SEC championship game. Um, Now next week this week they play Charlotte. Um, and the following week they play Georgia Tech. So technically they already have punched their ticket into the championship game, the SEC championship game. And that's gonna be pretty interesting to see how that's gonna look when those two, play each other. Texas A&M and Georgia. It's gonna be pretty goddamn interesting to see how that's gonna fucking look. Um, but like I said, Georgia being fourth in my polls, I'm assuming they're gonna probably be. I wouldn't jump them, and I know because fucking how college football council or think they're gonna sit there and say, "Well, Indiana needs to fall." It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Texas A&M needs to fall. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, yes, Georgia beat Texas, but let's keep it a beam. Y'all kept Texas a little too fucking high because you continuously think Arch Manning is going to transform into this great fucking quarterback right before your eyes, and he has shown you that he can't fucking do that. So I don't really blame Georgia for beating Texas more than the polls for trying to make Texas into something that they were never going to be. Number 5, Ole Miss. They're 10-1. They're also on a bye. Ole Miss moved up from last week on my polls, of course, because Alabama lost last week. Ole Miss is 10-1 on my polls. In my polls, man. I do not know about Ole Miss. Now, Ole Miss needs a lot of fucking help. They need Texas A&M to lose, which again, Texas A&M technically has no more SEC games. I mean, Texas through last week, so they need them to beat Tech. They need Texas to beat them. Ole Miss, who already uh, lost to Georgia, so they're all their hopes and prayers are on. All their hopes and prayers are literally on Texas A&M losing to Texas next week. Could it happen? Definitely could happen. It definitely could happen. But again, Ole Miss plays Mississippi State, I think, next week. So that's a SEC conference game. That's gonna be pretty intriguing. Looking forward to seeing how that's gonna look. And number 6 is Texas Tech. They are 10-1, and they are also on a bye. Texas Tech is pretty much set in stone that they're gonna be playing in the Big 12 championship game. They're gonna be in the Big 12 championship game. The question really does become: is it gonna be a rematch between them and BYU? Is it gonna possibly be maybe? Yeah, is it gonna be a rematch between them and BYU? Is it gonna be pretty much a matchup between them and maybe who's that team? Cincinnati? Who is it gonna be? That's really much what Texas Tech is waiting for. They're waiting to see who is it going to be. Is it going to be BYU? Is it going to be is it going to be somebody else? And is it going to be BYU? Or is it going to be Cincinnati? And that's a pretty intriguing situation. I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to play out. But Texas Tech is on a bye. They're 10-1, and they're pretty much in the Big 12 championship game already. Eyes on college football. Week 13. Let's get it. I got 4 games. That's all I do. I don't do all this crazy shit. I do 4 fucking games. Skeptical game of the week. Most interesting game of the week. Upset game of the week. And my game of the week. Let's get into it. Skeptical game of the week. And that is Pittsburgh versus Georgia Tech. Pittsburgh last week got absolutely, positively their ass whooped at home to Notre Dame. Got fucking destroyed. This shit was bad. Super duper bad. It was fucking bad, man. Pittsburgh was in the polls, and by the way that looked last week, that shit will not happen this week. They will not be in the polls by the end of this night. Which brings into Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, who has their advantage to make the ACC championship game, really like right on the cusp. They need to win this game. This is why it's a skeptical game. Georgia Tech in the last couple of weeks have had some really weird fucking games. And they've lost in some of these games. And this is why I feel like this is a weird fucking game, because if Pittsburgh beats Georgia Tech, now you look at that Georgia Tech, now you look at the ACC with Duke, Virginia, you still got Louisville, you still got Miami. Now the ACC championship game is a little bit more questionable, particularly who the fuck is winning. So yeah, who the fuck is going more so winning, but this is why it's a skeptical game to me. I don't know who wins this game, and this is gonna be pretty interesting. Most interesting game of the week. That is BYU versus Cincinnati. I just told y'all that the Big 12 is still up for grabs. Who is going to meet Texas Tech? I know for damn sure BYU. I know for damn sure BYU is definitely trying to get a rematch against Texas Tech. They got fucking killed. Absolutely fucking positively killed in that game against Texas Tech a couple weeks ago. Cincinnati this whole season has been a little bit up and down most of the year, even though they are somewhat, even though Cincinnati is somewhat a really good team. This is going to be the most interesting game of this week because BYU in Cincinnati, need to win this game. BYU needs to win it to make sure they punch their ticket to the Big 12 championship game. Same thing with Cincinnati. They need to win this game. This is why it's very fucking intriguing. This is the most interesting game because of this situation right here. Who the fuck is going to the Big 12 championship game? Upset game of the week. Missouri versus Oklahoma. Why is this an upset? Well, Oklahoma just beat Alabama in Alabama. Pretty big move. Pretty big moment for Oklahoma to beat one of SEC's powers. But after a game like that, Missouri, who has struggled, definitely got destroyed against Texas A&M a couple weeks ago. This is one of those games that they can actually catch Oklahoma off guard. Even though Oklahoma's going to be at home, even though the fans are going to be on Oklahoma's side, it's very early. Oklahoma, of course, like I said, just coming off of beating Alabama. Anything can happen in that game. And that is why I feel like Missouri could actually catch Oklahoma sleeping Saturday. They can catch them sleeping. And if they do, Missouri has the offense that can kind of keep Oklahoma at bay to not come back and catch them. So it'll be pretty intriguing to see. In my game of the week, it is USC versus Oregon. Oregon still has a chance at the Big Ten championship game. They still have a chance, even though they lost to Indiana. They still have a chance, but they need Ohio State to lose to Michigan. They desperately fucking need it. The USC Trojans have done just enough to be talked about, like always. They've done just enough to be talked about, not enough to take serious. And that's pretty much what it is. Can they score? Yeah. Are they defense great? Not particularly. It's okay. It's decent. Get you what you need. Not what get you what you need. But Oregon in this game is going to probably torture. Oregon needs to continue to win because they do not have a pathway to get to the Big Ten championship game if they lose. Same thing with USC. And that is why it's the game of the week because something's got to give. Big four for the NFL. I don't do five. I don't do six. I don't do 10. I do four. These are my four teams of the NFL coming into week 12 of the NFL season. Let's start it off at number one. It is the New England Patriots at 9-2. New England did what New England was supposed to do: beat the shit out the Jets. And this week they go to Cincinnati. As long as Joe Burrow is not playing, Cincinnati has a chance. Don't have a chance in hell. And then on top of that, you add to the fact that Cincinnati also just lost Jamar Chase because he just got suspended for spitting on Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, go ahead and put that shit to bed. It's over. I have said this numerous weeks, and I continue to say it. Some of this has got some chat on TikTok. Some of this has gotten some negative responses on TikTok. I don't give a fuck. The Patriots. I said this shit for a very long time that the Patriots were going to win the AFC East. I said this for a very long time that the Patriots are going to win the AFC East. I felt like the Patriots had the best draft, the best free agency, while other teams pretty much stay stagnant and stay pretty much intact. Kansas City, I'll talk about that in a minute. The Patriots went out and actually got everything that they needed. I need a veteran receiver, Stephon Diggs. I need defensive tackles. You know, who's the guy that's wrecking shit in the Super Bowl? Oh, that's Mighty Williams. Okay, cool. Like, oh, we need a linebacker. We need a veteran linebacker. Landry from Tennessee. Great. They did everything they were supposed to do, and then they drafted fucking amazingly. We need a left tackle to protect our quarterback. Will Campbell is the best offensive lineman in the draft. Get him. Get him. We need a running back to kind of take the pressure off of Ramondre Stevenson if we need to. Ramondre Stevenson. Oh, Trayvon Henderson from Ohio State. He worked pretty well, when he was there in Ohio State. Why not I just bring him in? We need a rookie receiver that kind of stretch the field for us, if just in case Stephon Diggs get hurt or can't come back. Oh, Kyle Williams from Washington State. He was, he was Cam Ward's target for at least a year. He can do that. We need a kicker because we haven't had a kicker in a very long time. We need a kicker because we haven't had a kicker in a very long time. Let's draft one. New England did everything this offseason that they were supposed to fucking do. And the results are now starting to show itself. Now, can we say New England's schedule is very easy? Yeah. Can we say New England's schedule is, the easiest been in a very long time? Yeah. Doesn't change the facts that Drake May, yes, I get it. Second year, nobody expects a quarterback to come out their second year and do what he is doing. But we forget sometimes that teams that bring in quarterbacks, particularly rookies from last year, and they see potential in that rookie, and then they decide to bring in all of these talents around him and make him better. Like I've always said, Drake May had the skills. Drake May was already a good fucking quarterback. I mean, if you watch me and my brother Juan last year doing our sports show, we literally was talking about how Drake May, Jay Daniels, and Michael Penix Jr. were great fucking quarterbacks. Like, we were literally saying this shit. Like, yeah, give them time. They're gonna probably grow into really great fucking quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels took his team to the NFC Championship game last year as a rookie. Michael Penix is having some ups and downs in Atlanta this year, but I'd rather take his season and what I believe he can be over a fucking JJ McCarthy or a fucking Bo Nix. But the Patriots with Drake May is starting to really affect this situation. This is why I said I think the Patriots are going to win the AFC East. I don't believe in Buffalo, bro. Miss me with that shit. Number 2, it is the Los Angeles Rams. They are 8-2. They won the big NFC West battle. I don't know how big that shit really was, but they won the big NFC West battle. This week they play on Sunday Night Football against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now that's gonna be an interesting fucking game, especially knowing that the next night is the 49ers and Carolina Panthers on Monday Night Football. So that's gonna be an interesting fucking game. I think the Rams. Do I think the Rams are the best team in NFC? It's kind of hard to tell. Do I think they're the most complete team in NFC? Yes. I don't think they're the best team, but I definitely think they're the most complete team. Again, they should be better than the 49ers was banged the fuck up. And Seattle has a quarterback that you should trust in a big game situation. But the Rams are 8-2. They play the Bucks this upcoming week. And that's gonna be a pretty interesting fucking game because Tampa Bay kind of now needs that game to make sure that they win the NFC South. Who knew? Number 3, it is the Indianapolis Colts. 8-2. They were on a bye this past week. This week they play against Kansas City in Kansas City. That's an interesting fucking game. This is the game where we get a chance to see if Daniel Jones can actually win in a big game situation. And because of how Kansas City's been looking these last couple of weeks, which I will talk about in a minute, this is the game where Daniel Jones, because I promise you, they're going to sell the fuck out and try to stop Jonathan Taylor. That is the one thing that Kansas City has to stop. Can Daniel Jones pick them apart? If he can, keyword, if he can, the Colts might win this game. If he can't, good fucking luck. Because that tells me right then and there, I don't think that you can even make it out of the first fucking round of the playoffs. Because teams are going to single-handedly shut down Jonathan Taylor and say, all right, Daniel Jones, throw the ball. Throw the ball. Throw the fucking football. And number 4, at 9-2, it is the Denver Broncos. Denver beat Kansas City last week to take a massive lead in the NFC West with literally a couple of weeks to go. They're 9-2. They're 9-2. They're on bye this upcoming week. I still don't trust Denver's offense. I don't give a fuck. I don't trust Denver's offense. Listen, you beat Kansas City. You were hyped for that fucking game. You needed to beat those fucking dudes. I don't trust your offense, bro. I don't trust your offense in big game moments. You can't still sit here and give me, well, in the fourth quarter, they're lights out. What if they can't come back in the fourth quarter? They don't play the Giants every fucking year. I mean, every fucking week in the playoffs. Once you have a team down, they're pretty much fucking down and not getting back up. Denver's defense is incredible. That offense is still awful. And I don't give a shit that you beat the Kansas City Chiefs. People want to give you now some credit because you beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City sucks. When are we going to have a conversation about this shit? And I'll talk about that in a minute. Lord have mercy. Like Denver is not a good team offensively. Offensively, they're not a good team. And like I say all the time, bro, you cannot sit here and tell me because the fourth quarter they wake the fuck up. You know what this reminds me of? Tim Tebow. That offense reminds me of the Denver Broncos when Tim Tebow was the quarterback. Because it's the same shit I heard when Tim Tebow was the quarterback of the Denver Broncos. The offense wasn't shit for 3 quarters, but the fourth quarter, they magically just woke up. All right. But therefore, therefore, love is a warning in the NFL. Yellow, caution. Orange, panic time. And red is good old DOA. Let's get into it, man. Yellow, caution. And that is yellow, caution. And that is the Los Angeles Chargers. I have no idea what the fuck the Chargers are. They started off the season 3-0, winning 3 consecutive divisional games. And then they proceeded to lose the next 2 games. And then they won one, then they lost again. And then they lost and they won they what they started out 3-0, they lost 2, they won one, then they lost again. Almost lost to fucking Miami, which was so fucking weird. And then they won 3, and then they lost this past Sunday to the Jaguars. What the fuck are you, What the fuck are y'all? What are y'all? That is my problem with the Chargers. They're too fucking up and down. They're too fucking up and down. I do not know what this team is. And no matter what people want to say, the Chargers are a weird fucking team. This team had a chance to win the division. Should have won the division. And if the season ended at week 3, you would have won the division already. The problem with the Los Angeles Chargers is the same thing that's been a problem with a lot of these teams, which is complacency. You're still the same old team. Now, yes, granted, you lost Rashad Slater. You've now lost Joe Alt. You've lost a lot of offensive linemen in the last couple of weeks as the season has progressed. The defense hasn't really been particularly great throughout the year. You also lost your running backs throughout the season. Like, you've lost your running backs throughout the season. I mean, yeah, it's been a crazy fucking year for the Los Angeles Chargers. So for them to just be 7-4 is already nuts into itself. But here's where the problem kicks in for me, man. And this is why I feel like the Chargers right now are going to make the playoffs, but it just feels like, man, if there was any team that Kansas City could catch in the conversation of wild card, it's the Chargers. It's Chargers. If you still got another game with the Chargers this season, the Chargers feel like an up and down fucking team. Are they on a bye this week? I think they're on a bye this week. The Kansas City Chiefs can make up so much ground on the Chargers, which sounds absolutely fucking positively crazy, but it's the truth. They can make up ground on the Chargers if they beat the Colts this week. And then you're sitting there now thinking to yourself, holy shit, the Chargers now are pressured to actually have to win these games. Because you damn sure don't want to put Kansas City in a position where they play you, they're going to beat you. Especially knowing that I think they go to Arrowhead at the end of the season. I don't want the problems. I don't want to put Justin Herbert in a win or lose type of scenario because he doesn't do well in win or lose types of scenarios, despite what the fuck people want to say. He don't do well in win or lose type of scenarios. He fucking sucks at them. He sucked when he was in Oregon. He fucking sucks now that he's in the NFL. Nothing's changed. definitely against a Kansas City team that needs to win to get in the playoffs. Yeah, that's playing with fucking fire. I'm good on that. Mm-mm. Chargers are weird. Chargers are a weird fucking team. Orange, panic time. And that is the Seattle Seahawks. They are 7-3. Now Seattle lost to the Rams this past weekend. I have said this numerous times. It is not Seattle's defense. It ain't even Seattle's running game, which is usually the problem with Seattle sometimes. I have literally little to no fucking faith in Sam Darnold. And you can make up the excuses that you fucking want. Sam Darnold will never win in big games because he's never been that fucking quarterback before. He was never the quarterback at USC. He was never that quarterback with the Jets, Panthers. He was just never that quarterback. And now you're asking him to win big games, even though the team is built around him. All you asking him to do is just do his part. And he can't fucking do it. This game against the Rams should have been as simple and clear cut. Run the ball and throw the ball when you need to. How the fuck he ended up with 4 interceptions? Stop putting the game in Sam Darnold's hand. You're never going to fucking win. I don't give a fuck what y'all say on social media. This fucking kid, this dude can't fucking win when it matters most. If you put the game in his hands, you're going to fucking lose. In a big moment game, we've seen enough of this to now know. You talk about the man that saw ghosts on a football field. You mean that fucking dude is going to win you a fucking Super Bowl. Yeah, good fucking luck, dude. Good fucking luck. I don't know what you want to tell you. Good fucking luck, dude. Good fucking luck. And red is DOA, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs. They are officially 5-5. Oh, let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk Kansas City. I've been waiting for this one. Let's talk. So I haven't really put Kansas City in my, I haven't really put Kansas City in my levels of warning and shit like that. I haven't really put Kansas City in that this year because there's not really enough to talk about. Kansas City has been on a steady decline for years. Kansas City has been on a steady decline for years. 2 years ago, they didn't have the weapons. They didn't have a running game, but they had a defense. They had a defense. And Patrick Mahomes could do enough to win you games. Now you come into this year. You come into last year, and you got saved so many fucking times. So many fucking times to the point where people started to question, is Kansas City even fucking good? Because the refs keep bailing these bitches out. Are they even fucking good? And then they play the Philadelphia Eagles, and we realize, no, they're not actually fucking good. They actually suck. And because the fucking referees bailed them out of so many fucking games, we knew they sucked, but they just kept getting bailed out. And now this year have finally hit the steady. They have hit the decline. They have hit it. I've heard people say, "Is Patrick Mahomes good?" It's uh, now people are having questions about Patrick Mahomes. Has he ever been really good? Has he ever been that guy? Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest quarterbacks I've seen. Even when he was at college at Texas Tech, he just had a team around him. I knew the kid was going to be great. I knew he was going to be great. Where the problem kicks in is that the Kansas City Chiefs have been on borrowed time for a very long time. They have had, like I said, 2 years ago, they were a bad fucking team. That was not a good team. but they somehow, some way managed to win a Super Bowl. Last year, you can argue, even though the record suggested that they were great, the team itself wasn't really fucking good. The defense was good. That offense was god awful. You can make the excuse. And when they finally played a team that can actually, bust that ass, that's what happened. They got their ass bust. And now this year, the defense isn't good. The offense is clearly fucking declined. It's not great. Patrick Mahomes has little to no trust with his receivers. And the one person that he's supposed to have the most ultimate trust in, they're not on the same fucking page in Travis Kelce. So what the fuck is happening? Kansas City has officially hit the Patriots. And if people remember, the Patriots were always good. The Patriots will always win the AFC East. They'll come out of nowhere and win the AFC East. They just can never win a Super Bowl. They could never get back to the Super Bowl. There were years where they could just not get past Peyton Manning, or they couldn't get past the Baltimore Ravens, or they couldn't get past, there were years where they just couldn't get past certain fucking teams because they just didn't have the team anymore. That structure that made them so great. Kansas City is in that boat right now. Kansas City's in that fucking boat right now. Kansas City cannot overcome their deficiencies. And that's just what it is. They can't overcome their deficiencies. You didn't fix shit during this offseason. And I kept saying, and been a theme throughout my fucking episode, this whole episode, I've been saying a lot of these teams stayed intact. The team that looks the most ready right now is the fucking Patriots. Why do the Patriots look ready? Because they actually drafted well. And they fucking signed good pieces to that team. They knew what they were doing. What is wrong with Kansas City right now? They're fucking old. They can't fucking move like they used to move. You have relied on Chris Jones so fucking much that now he's kind of not being the guy anymore. So now you don't know what the fuck to do defensively because you don't have that guy anymore. And then you have an offense that, as the years have progressed, like I have said, they have been on a steady decline the last 2 fucking years. They escaped with a Super Bowl 2 years ago. Last year, they got their ass destroyed in the Super Bowl because their offense just can never step up. And now this year, you're losing a lot of these one close games because you don't have the trust anymore. You never fixed that offensive line. You traded away a piece to that offensive line and then drafted one. Now, granted, I think Josh Simmons will be an amazing offensive lineman at some point. But you putting a rookie in to start. You drafted a kid last year from Yale. That's now your what? Right tackle? No, left tackle. You drafted a kid, and then you still have a guy that you signed, Jawan Taylor, who is not good at his job. Outside of Trey Smith in the center, Humphrey, that interior sucks. Like the entire offensive line is garbage. You didn't fix the receivers. You waited too fucking long when you knew Rashee Rice was going to pretty much be out for a good stretch of the season. You didn't go get nobody to fix that receiving core. No one. You didn't think about it. You didn't try to go fix that shit. You just said, "Oh, we're gonna stay at tackle. We're just gonna wait for him to come back." And then Xavier Worthy got hurt, and you just got too far behind the ball. Again, you listen, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it a beam. I still believe Kansas City can make the playoffs. As crazy as it sounds, I actually do that Kansas City can make the fucking playoffs. The reason why is because I don't trust the Chargers. That's it. I don't trust the Chargers. I damn sure don't trust the Jaguars. I don't trust the Jaguars or the Chargers. I don't trust them. I don't trust neither one of those fucking teams. Do I believe that the Steelers are the Ravens? I think one of them win the AFC North. If this is true that Aaron Rodgers is hurt and could be missing some games, Pittsburgh just fell off the fucking building. Like Pittsburgh is officially left the building, ladies and gentlemen. It is over. It is over. Put the shit to bed. I still believe in Mike Tomlin, but fucking a dude. Like, it's only so much you can fucking do. It's only so much that you're like, what the fuck did I do, bro? What the fuck did I do? The defense of Pittsburgh is despite what happened Sunday, that defense just hasn't been good, and that offense is not great either. Like, but I think it's only gonna be one team from the AFC North, either Baltimore or Pittsburgh. I don't know which one. I lean more toward Baltimore because I think they're getting more healthier and getting more into they're getting better as the season progresses. So it's gonna be only be one team from the AFC North. Could there be two teams from the AFC South? Possibly. I don't trust the Colts for shit, especially if they lose to Kansas City this upcoming Sunday, because now the conversation becomes, holy shit, you bet not hope that the Houston Texans somehow, some way pull it off and win against Buffalo this Thursday, and then turn around and beat Kansas City the next fucking week after that. If Houston somehow, some way magically wins these next 2 weeks, hey, bro, it's time to end it. It's time to put this shit to bed, bro. But let's put that into perspective. Two AFC South teams, Colts, Jags, or Texans, who knows? There's going to be two teams from the AFC West. And there's probably going to be two teams from the AFC East in the Buffalo Bills and the Patriots. What the fuck does Kansas City fall? You just lost to Denver. You could catch the Chargers. But what is this team? Kansas City has to literally now win every fucking game they are in. Every one. I think they could beat the Chargers. I think they could beat the Colts. I think they could beat the Chargers. I know they play Denver one more time, but they play them in Mile High. They play them in Kansas City. They still got the Raiders that come to them, and they got to go to Dallas. Could they win? Sure, they could fucking win. Could they win the division? Sure, they. Now I don't think they're gonna win the division. But can they win and get in the playoffs? Sure, they can fucking do it. Their schedule is not crazy. It's not fucking bad. But I do believe the Kansas City, the magic of Kansas City, has worn off. The borrowed time is ticking now, and they can't stop it. See, the last couple of years, they've been able to kind of push it back, push it back, push it back. They've been able to stop somewhat of the situation of their team declining. Offensively, they haven't been great. Defensively, have kept them afloat for the last couple of years. But now the offense isn't doing what they need to do, and the defense is starting to kind of get older, and they're showing their age. This is the thing about this situation. What is the Kansas City Chiefs? They need, and I mean absolutely, positively need to win. If they do not win these next couple of weeks, it's over. The Kansas City getting into the playoffs, making big moves, it's over. And now you have the conversation of what the real conversation would be, which is the real conversation would be Travis Kelce. It's time to hang it up. It's over. Go home. We don't need you anymore. You're holding us up. Andy Reid. Do you still have the passion to be the guy here? If not, love you, coach, but you got to step aside. Patrick Mahomes. You might be the only last remaining person from this championship winning dynasty, because Chris Jones might be the one piece that we can physically trade to get us good fucking picks back that can actually rebuild the team. Is Kansas City ready for that conversation? Because that's a conversation that definitely fucking happens if you lose Sunday, and then if you lose on Thanksgiving Day to Dallas. That's a real conversation. That's not some shit that just gets bubbled up 5 seconds. No, that's a real conversation. It's a real conversation, man. And I know a lot of people that probably don't want to talk about it. Nobody wants to. Definitely not Kansas City fans. But that's a real conversation. That's a real genuine conversation. That that's a real genuine conversation. You know, what if Kansas City loses and they can't make the playoffs? Is the conversation with Travis Kelce a little bit more like, hey man, listen, I get that you think you could play one more year. I get that you want to go out on a better situation. I get that you want to win a Super Bowl ring, but I want to also put this into perspective. Your brother also left the league after losing in a playoff game. He did not end his career like he thought he would end his. Sometimes your shit just doesn't end the way you think it's going to end because that's what you believe. Sometimes it's just time to walk away. Andy Reid, as much as I love you, you might. Do you think you can do this one more year? Do you think you can build another team? Because right now, the way we are, we might have to go into a rebuild. We may have to start thinking about a rebuild. Are you willing to accept the fact that we might have to do a rebuild? Patrick Mahomes, you're the only piece that we actually want to keep. Chris Jones, love you, but your contract's a little fucking high. We can move you to a team that can desperately need you. Let's say Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Baltimore. Maybe we trade you to a team. Maybe we trade you to a team like Detroit. Maybe we trade you to a team. You know what I'm saying? Like we can move you because we don't need you. We need to rebuild. And the only piece that we have that is even somewhat tradable is you. Is Kansas City ready to have this conversation? Because I feel like you're putting off the inevitable. And at the end of this year, especially if you do not win Sunday, that conversation is turned up. Kansas City is DOA this week. Tell you guys next week for another episode of I Believe Sports. That's next week. Until then, I am Brandon Janeau. Peace.